thank you to everyone for joining us on this very, very exciting webinar. It's one that I'm looking forward to myself. I think that when we create and sell courses online, there's always so much to learn, and we are joined by, I'm going to call him an expert, but he won't like that. Saurabh, thank you so much for joining us and facilitating this webinar.
Thank you.
So the title, the grand title that we've got is How to Create and Sell Online Courses.
Right.
Ultimately, an online course is an evergreen content that's certainly worthwhile doing. And we have a wonderful platform called Tutoryal that facilitates this. And it is so unlimited into its uses and purposes, and we'll get into that. So when we think about e-learning, we're talking about a billion-dollar business. It's a very competitive market, not just for the platforms, but for people creating and selling courses. And when we look at some of the course creators out there, they are earning millions. So it's certainly a worthwhile venture to look into. Can you tell us a little bit sort of about Tutoryal and kind of its inception and why it came about?
All right. Thank you, Greg. First of all, thanks for joining me for this event, and I would like to introduce Greg to everyone, who's the founder of George Watt International and himself a coach. Okay, and it's my pleasure, Greg, you're there with me today, right? And for everyone, so this is Saurabh, and I'm the co-founder of Tutorial, as well as an EdTech expert working in this domain for last 15 years. Yes. Okay. So the question is a question that Greg is asking: why Tutorial? And how does the conceptualization happen? So in my journey of this 15 years, I've realized that uh, there are gaps in the market, which could actually be addressed if we have a platform which is addressing to these three needs that we have. So what we as co-founders and a company identified is are the three things on which the tutorial is based. First is learning accessibility. So there are lots of LMSs in the market, but it lacks the simplicity in terms of using it, so that you feel like there are lots of people who comes to us and they are actually catching up with the technologies, right? They are actually migrating to the technology, especially in the COVID scenario, right? Though we conceptualized tutorial, before COVID, it took 2 years time for us to get it on the, live. So, so simplicity is a huge issue, right, in the market. You should feel like accessing a platform like Netflix. People should not train you on using a, learning management system. So that was the first gap. Secondly, also, which we are actually scheduled to build now in future, is the platforms that is those are available are not accessible by specially abled people. So this WPA access is not there, so nobody has thought about them, how they will be, impact. They will get education, how they will learn, how they will upskill themselves if the platforms are not compatible. So that's another thing which is a part of learning accessibility that we have. So Tutorial helps with this gap by providing first a simplified user first approach where anybody can see, and we have got feedback from our users that it's the simplest platform that they've seen to be used, right? And then second is enabling web content accessibility for especially able people, right, around the globe. Second reason of tutorial is learning engagement, right? So most of the formats in the market that you see today is one way in terms of videos, and people are running a lot of videos. Uh, do students take courses out of videos? But uh, what we're doing is, from a classroom mode where there's a one way lecture, and there is a There's a pedagogical process. uh, the same is being followed when we are just throwing a video and asking people to learn from the video and take some test, right? So what we are trying to do is, since the user span, the learner span is not more than 10 minutes. So what we have done is we are creating a blended approach inside tutorial, which gives you, you know, flexibility to use multiple file types to engage the learner in terms of not only video, maybe a PowerPoint, maybe SCORM packages, maybe text, Excel, anything. And then at the same time, you can help user enhance the recall abilities by using the formative and summative assessments, right? So you can put small quiz within the sessions that you create, within the lessons that you create, and also give them a full-fledged test to evaluate based on certifications or no certifications, maybe participating, maybe sport based. So it actually helps the learner to feel engaged and motivated to move forward, right? That's how we have conceptualized the whole structure when you're creating courses on tutorial. Right. And the third very important part is learning implementation. So I have been from the learning fraternity, and I believe that learning happens when you put it into action, right? Otherwise, it is just a knowledge, and you may or may not be able to retain it in your mind, right? Or maybe it is a waste at the end, right? So we are working on this part of learning implementation on tutorial where you can help user get into action through a task, through a project, doing some homework and then submit it and you can evaluate it back, right? So these are the learning assignments that you can help user, get practical experience, practical exposure, and they would be able to use it so that they know in future how it is going to enhance their career and help their career. So these are the three whys of tutorial on which. So this platform is targeted to all the teaching fraternity trainers, coaches, okay, and to learning and consulting companies, academies, institutions, schools, and across, so that they can either use that full-fledged or a parallel, blended approach methods in upskilling their students across, right? So because as per studies says, the parents across the globe are looking forward to upskilling their kids, or and corporates are looking for upskilling their employees, apart from what they already do, right? So these are additional resources that has been demand. If you look at the statistics and the predictions of Holon IQ up to 2000 40, which is making this whole industry a 4.3 trillion dollar, right? So that's on the tutorial, how it came, and why did we actually conceptualize and where we'll be taking it.
That's amazing. Yeah, thank you. I mean, I will add to that because, as you know, I've had a good look around, and yeah, the simplicity of use is absolutely amazing. And I think that that even that first meeting we had, Shrub, that I was there and my brain was ticking over at the uses because of the flexibility. I know that there's e-learning platforms out there, but they are a case of you upload your documents and that's it. But the fact that you can put in assessments, you can put in quizzes, you can put in lots and lots of different interactions, is amazing. It's a fantastic way to build a course. And I, even for me, one of the things I thought was, it's a great platform for companies to use for onboarding,
Right.
to a certain level, that it takes away the time spent on onboarding, because people can go through the processes and they can learn online, which is absolutely fantastic. And
Right.
you're right, it's kind of aimed at the two sides, at the course creator and at the course user, and like you say, the simplicity for both is outstanding. Ultimately what we're doing is saying how to create and sell online courses. And I suppose the one metric that we always look at for online courses is how many people are buying that course, or how many people are interested in that course. So I guess that the next question is, what are the things we need to consider when creating an online course for the certainly for the first time, or certainly, people who have tried to create an online course and maybe not quite succeeded in being successful with that.
Right. Thanks, Craig. So I have been, receiving lots of questions from people, and I try to categorize into three questions because most of them falling into these three questions, which I'll share with you. Starting with one which says that, which asks that, what are the things to consider when creating an online course for the first time? So they're always first timers, right? When they're talking about the catch-up learning, they're talking about migrating to the education technology. Second questions that I get is, how can I create a compelling online course? Right. And trust me, there are people who are making, one of my posts on LinkedIn. I've written that, Greg, my conversation with you, where one of your client has made more than $1.5 million in a year just by going online and making courses. Apart from that, he's also a trainer, right? So that's the third question. What I'm getting is like, what does it take to create a sellable online course, right? So if I create a course, uh, will people buy it? That's a very, very, I would say, a genuine question. When they're putting a lot of efforts creating a course, putting it online, and marketing it to get people, right? So uh, so let me address the first question, like, what are the things to consider when creating an online course, right? So, in today's world, in the edtech, it's a lot of learning experience, right? And we are trying to replace the physical classroom model, right? And going beyond, the statistics says that we would be parallelly running the show now, right? Because it adds you to your income apart from the physical setup that you have. So the first is the user interface. Like I said, tutorial gives you something which is highly, simplified in terms of login, in terms of creating a course, accessing, activating a course, creating section of, chapters, lessons inside, quiz inside, and it also has the an independent assessment module which you can use to only assess people, right? We are actually improvising it better to cater to a larger audience in coaching fraternity right now, and also in school fraternity. So it has to be simple, more simple that people feel like using it. uh, so simplicity is one thing, so that the student would feel they log in and they can directly access the course, right? Second is file types. When I talk about engagement in terms of learning, my second why of tutorial. So what we're doing is, when a course is created online, you are replacing the instructor there, the physical instructor. So you need to take care that how do you actually deliver this in a normal classroom scenario. So a platform should have, when you're creating a course, you should have these blended approach in terms of creating a PowerPoint, creating a small video as a nugget, you know maybe some other links. Maybe you can also engage the learners from a from like, give them access to the downloadable materials to read, so that they are engaged, end to end. So that's what I say, the science part, right? And when you're creating a course, so it could be created at different levels, okay? So that maybe a basic level, intermediate, and advanced level, so that if your course is simple at a basic level, then you can actually push your learners or offer your learners to get advanced into the learning process, you know learn more, go to an intermediate stage, then go to an advanced stage, and you can certify them if you're a lot if you're licensed on your domain, right? So that is very important. Now the question comes is, how are you going to do that, right? So you are going to do, like I say, KISS, the case thing, keep it stupidly short and simple, right? Use the micro nuggets. So the science is how are you assessing your target audience? Okay, what is the age group, what is the context, what is the challenge that you're trying to solve, for which you are creating a course? Choose the content types, choose the delivery methods in terms of file types, as I said, in building a course material, so that it doesn't feel bored to the younger generation that we have, right? Then you have the course topic. Of course, you can find a topic, based on your own knowledge and industry you are in. Also find what is being in demand in terms of your through your observations. Like in next question, I'll talk about how to identify needs. in the market, right? What to build a course on based on your capability that you have, right? Then create a category of course, like it could be functional, behavioral, technical, compliance, depending on your expertise that you can do, right? And then of course there will be subject and like see what happens is when you're creating a course, you already have a science behind it in terms of choosing a topic, identifying a need, describing it in a simpler form, 2 lines, describing it in a longer form, more than 300 500 words, and then you create a course which is blended in nature, right? You always has to go micro lessons way because people get bored and they will just start moving forward without even losing the interest if it is not gripping at all. And when you have formative and summative assessment, formative assessments are assessments which helps learners enhance their recall ability when they are taking it in between the lessons, so that the lessons learned gets cemented on the back of your mind. So that cementation of learning is very, very important. That also happens through action learning, what I talked about, learning implementation. But the process starts from the beginning, how you are keeping the learners engaged. And that's the game, right? Then you can, you should create teasers for your courses, link courses, depending on the type of course with certifications and everything, right? So that user has that thing, he can mention on their qualifications, resume, LinkedIn, actually, so that it helps them enhance their career. Second is also consider the feedback mechanism, how people are actually rating you, just like Amazon. When you have a course online, people should be able to give rating to the course. People should be able to give rating to the instructor. Like in tutorial, what happens is not only you can upload a course to be accessed by the user, you can also go live, right? You can also go live with your own platform that you're using right now. So it creates a big a blended approach in terms of I'm going live and connecting live after you already take this, right? Take this code, take these sessions, take these sections, and all those you do. So feedback is very much important, because what is visible to the world on your homepage is what is the rating for the course. So it also talks about how much the course is in demand, how many people have taken it, right? And other things to consider while creating a course is you have a forums for each course you develop for students to discuss about a problem. You have chats where you can connect with the instructors and other things are very important, like online security of your data, because your content is everything for you, right? So inquire about where the where the platform is hosted, and will my data be secure, not secure. And final thing which I saw missing in most of the platforms in the world today, I would say, is the customer support. And people are not happy, when they want to reach out to the support in terms of any technical issues or any other operational issues that happen. So it's a huge problem currently. In tutorial, we have the whole setup in terms of you can connect, you can call people online, stay connected with them. They will give you a hands-on, training if you have any issues, operational or technical. So this is on the considering what to consider while creating a course, right? So we can move to any question. If you have any questions, please raise your
Yeah.
hands at
I,
the end of the session. Yeah.
yeah, I was just going to mention a point. Just kind of listening to you talk, and you said something that I think is often missed when we create courses, is the fact that the course is replacing the instructor,
Right.
but it's still instruction. So, with a course that we have to remember that we're not just selling people a book, for example.
Right. Right.
So to be able to offer that, the forums and the chats and the accessibility to the instructor is
Right.
really important. And I think that's a great point to kind of emphasis,
Right.
that it is a selling point. At the end of the day, you're not just selling a information booklet, you're not just selling a book, or it is, you are replacing that instructor. So I think that was a point I think I wanted to highlight, because it's so important to remember that.
Right. Because that's what will take you to think in terms of how can when I'm replacing an instructor, how my instruction will change, right? Which will be absorbed by the learner or participant that you want to say, you know. So that's very important aspect. I'll talk about
Hmm.
it somewhere in my other questions. Right. So this is how. These are the things to consider, while even thinking about creating a course for first time. The platforms, user interface, the file types, and learning is it's a science. Learning is a science. You need to follow that. What all things actually could make a real blended course which will be engaging, right? So that your lifetime value for that course will be up. That's just by if you take care of the science, because learners will like the course, they will recommend people, they might go for basic to intermediate and then to advanced because they would like that course, because you have kept those essence of the science of learning intact with it, right? So that's the approach. So moving towards next question is about how can I create compelling online course. This is also being asked by me, by a lot of people. And Craig, we discussed in the past also. you know One of the questions that I seen people is like, whenever you are creating a program, suppose you're creating a program for a corporate or launching a course, the first thing comes is what subject, okay? And this what is a huge question, because this what will answer whether it will work or not. If you're choosing a subject, suppose emotional intelligence, suppose life balance thing when you do coaching, suppose you're doing a happiness thing, suppose you're doing a problem solving thing as a coach. So all this experience of mine, for last 15 years, the first thing that we should do is identify a subject, and this could be done through several methods. There are hundreds of methods. You can reach out to people, your own audience, through a questionnaire, structured questionnaire, a survey, or a feedback, or maybe you observe something in terms of demand out of your experience, right? You can also go out, to the enterprise, to the companies, and do a survey, study their role documents if you get access to, right? Role documents of the employees, what they are being, paid for, right? If it is for corporates. So performance of an employee report, if you get access to that, or the client share, whatever they can share with you, right? This is for the coaches who are like focusing on the enterprise side. They have corporate clients and all. This gives you a lot of inputs in terms of what is the next coming in, what is the demand of skill, which skill is in demand in future. Okay. So high demand of the courses as per the market needs, and of course your subject matter expertise also matters, and you know where the market is moving. You are a Java teacher trainer, or you are a life coach. You know that world has gone through a lot, leadership is getting into inclusivity, and a lot of things are happening. The score is changing. So you can use a mix of methods or one method to determine and come to a topic which you want to do. Second thing is, second step is the design. I call it a low design, because one is where you use the Bloom's taxonomy of low order thinking and high order thinking, where you decide at what level you want to create a course, right? Is it at a level of just knowledge, understanding, remembering things? Okay, based on the target audience that you have. It could be like for kids, we use rote memorizations, and for middle segment of middle age group, or people working in the corporates or studying in the school colleges, you can use cognitivism in terms of giving them a case, studying a case, reading case, solving things. At a very high level, it leads to more of a facilitation which you can do live, and also give them a problem to solve. So that's how it works. In terms of high order thinking, we need to create something. You need to actually evaluate something. You need to actually analyze something. That goes to that level. So you need to decide which level. Okay, I really recommend a Bloom's taxonomy study where you use the action verbs while defining your learning objective when it comes to the low design part. Right? It gives you enough things. See, if you can actually go out and and even share with your network or your own group and forums that I'm planning to design a course, and this is how the learning objective looks like. What do you think? So this is the stage where you can start seeking feedback from the people. Other way of doing it is feedback. So when you design a course, design a small course, 1 hour course, okay? And like you can also like our platform facilitates live classes also. Live, you can schedule a live class and you can sell it also. You can schedule a live class and you can give it for free as well. So it kind of webinar. So you can invite people for a webinar for which you have created a course, okay, for 1 hour, let's see. and then people will be taking that for 1 hour. You can discuss with them, take feedback from them. What was their experience? How did they like the course? And ask them for more if they are adding more value. Ask them for adding more value. And then that's how, because they are your target audience, they are giving you your feedback. So you can have all this information, improvise it back and launch it. So like most of the coaches or trainers make mistakes in terms of, like, they created the whole course because they think that is right and then launch it. And then what happens is you have to dilute your price in terms of very very low, maybe tenth of what you can sell it for. So platform like Tutorials helps you to create a demand for a course, right? You can have your own pricing strategy. It is not for the mass, it is for the people, those who want to take some certificates, want to solve some problems. People who are actually looking for a solution at an executive level, maybe, right? At a leadership level, I see a lot of people reading, these, what do you call, book summaries, right? So Tutorial gives you a platform where you can upload a book summary, which could be accessed by the executives. Read it, and then you can engage them into a live conversation, or you can give them something more if they are not into more of taking online thing. It may happen, you think, because they really lack time, right? So, but whenever they get time, they can read about that case study. They can read about that book summary. They can read about that, maybe facts and figures or anything statistics that you want to share with them, depending on what kind of problems you're helping them solve, what kind of challenges you are getting together to solve it, right? So that's the feedback mechanism you can use, right? Then then the development comes. Then you know that this is your target audience. You know that I need to use a blended approach in terms of multiple file types. You can engage a learner on platform like Tutorial right from the pre-read level. You send them a pre-read, you do a pre-test, and then create a course. Keep it micro, as I said. Use the engaging file types, sometimes PowerPoint, sometimes video, or a mix of all that. Put these sessions uh, with the quiz so that they are able to recall what they are learning, because otherwise it will be like forgotten, right? That the crux is, remember, the cementation of learning has to happen, right? That needs to be hammered, like somatic marks. So then assessments are already there. So people are serious. They will be certified, or they will receive a participation certificate or a score-based certifications. And that's how you can actually move the learner to next level, to sell them better, right? Motivate the learner to achieve more. So that's how you can do that. So so these kind of approach, which is purely scientific, it really works, right? Now, selling of a course also depend on choosing a platform, right? Based on you decide that, am I looking for a platform which is very very simple to use? Okay, can I upload a course, can I put a discount offer? Okay, can I engage with my student, right? These are the requirement, because you are in the business of knowledge transfer. Now you want anyhow to knowledge getting transferred to the student, and student should learn about it. Your coachee should learn. So you need ways to interact with the person. You need ways to make sure that learning is happening at any cost, right? So because that's who you are, that's what you're meant for, that's why you're using this platform. So it is very well possible virtually, right, with a live classroom. Tomorrow when the world opens up, beyond COVID, which is slowly happening, so you can always have major part as an online, connect with the learner or a coachee, okay, for 2 hours to understand the context and helping them connect that learning with their environment, right? With their, if it's a corporate employee, with the workplace. If it is a student, with the subjects, or with the exam scenario, with whatever challenge that they have in the questions, like if they have executives to their context, that's how you can do the cementation, right? Because you cannot sit with your coach for 8 hours, right? That's how the work, it basically, even the group coaching doesn't last for 8 hours, right? It's 1 hour, 2 hour maximum. So what you do is you are actually building a complete package in terms of skills, giving them knowledge, understand, and then you can relate That's also a test for the learner that if they are actually serious, are they actually learning the materials or going through the materials that I've sent it, have they taken the assessments, and then at the end you can take it with them, discuss that what they've learned and discuss how it can be implemented, right? And that's the crux. You know, learning happens when it gets into action. So other thing is related to compelling courses are, as I said, it's a platform, and then the price offering, of course, right? So you look at the today it's a price offering of the course I'm talking about, not of the platform. Platforms are mostly, not very expensive. They are subscription based, and whatever is your process of, knowledge transfer in terms of business, it normally covers for everyone what we have seen. Okay. We do have offers at the end. By the way, we do support the fraternity that way. See, idea is like you can either sell a course. What I've seen in the market is two more. One is high value, high cost. Okay. Like like you have a based on your seniority, your experience, your level of audience, right? And other is you create a basic course which is high value, low cost, so that you address the mass market. So one is the class which I'm talking about, high value, high cost, and other is the mass market, where I'm creating a course which can be taken by anyone, right? Who's looking for, suppose you are a coach and you create a course on balanced life coaching, right? How to balance your life. So you can create a course which is generic in nature, could be taken by anyone who's looking forward to, who has some problems which you will identify because you have created a course out of it, right? When I talk about that, the need assessments, when your need assessments are clear, your target audience are clear, and your demand, assess the demand in the market, so you can always do that. So you can either these two models you can adopt in terms of, type of course. However, the flexibility that you have with platforms like Tutorial is like you can price your course the way you want, depending on the demand you create, depending on how you see things in your network. Okay. Because you'll be bringing marketing, bringing your own people, teaching them, training them on the platform. So you can control the price, which is not possible with all in one kind of platforms like we have Udemy and CityLearn and other platforms, which is not possible for that because it is created to serve the masses. Okay. And also with your course at a basic level, with your platform, right? It's a subdomain. It is on your name, right? Along with like it comes greg.tutorial.com, or maybe you can take a white label solution for yourself. It's your platform. You quote the price. You raise your own demand. You know, you do your own demand generation, I mean, and then you can actually control everything that is coming to you because you can go live. You going live as the highest price there. That's what I'm talking about. Created a blended approach where you can go live. You can also giving reading materials. You can also letting them access videos to access. So it's a complete package, which overall value really gets increased very high. So you can actually control your own price. And with the marketing tools that we have, we're working on that right now. Email marketing. You can also we have landing pages for each course. Okay, you can bring traffic running your ad campaigns on Facebook, Insta, or Google search engines. You can bring on this that page, and you can actually generate your own leads there. That's how it works. So this was about how can I create a compelling online course. Right.
Yeah,
So please, if you have any questions, yeah.
the one thing I was gonna say, from my experience of building courses and things, and it's really interesting when you're talking about low price kind of mass market or kind of high ticket, high value,
Yeah.
and there's lots of information out there about which one we should be selling, and the truth is they both work. um,
Right.
it doesn't matter what you create, but it's interesting that with this that you've put in choosing a platform, because I think one of the things that we as course creators need to remember is that you can write a course and you can sell it and you'll get feedback and you need to change it. And with all the things that Tutorial has, such as not just text, but video, with forums, with interactions, with quizzes, with assignments. you might not write a course needing all of that to begin with, but if you write a basic course, so a low ticket, high value course that is basic and it sells,
Of course.
you need the ability, the flexibility to then build that course and add in those videos, add in the assessments, add in the live chat with instructors, even if you don't need them at the beginning. If you can build a course and a basic course that sells, then yes, improve it. And as you said, you can go from basic to intermediate to advanced course, and
Right.
it can actually be the same course. But if you're
Yes.
limited, and if you're limited to what you can do, so if it's only text based or it's only text and video based and it hasn't got the interactive, you can't add in the added value to take it to that advanced course. And I think this is important to remember as well when we're comparing platforms, of actually not what do I need now, but what could I possibly do in the future? What is available to me without having to change platforms in the future? And I think this is where Tutorial sits really well for me as a course creator, because that I'm excited about this platform, and I've started writing courses and changing courses and adding to courses, and it's such a fascinating thing to do, to be able to then start somewhere, then expand later. And when you talk about price offering, yes, you can write a course on, um, let's say, r- let's write a course on how to sell courses, how to market
Yeah,
courses.
you
And
can do that.
you can have your basic, which is your low ticket offers, which is basically a lot of information, and then you can go to intermediate, which is maybe some videos with some examples, and then your advanced of actual framework structure that people can submit as an assessment. So this offers multiple pricing points because you've got so many different aspects to tutorial that are far and beyond what other platforms are offering. So yeah, we have to not just think about now when creating a course. It's what can I add, what value can I add in the future to take that high ticket price up, but to still keep it selling.
Right, right. And thanks, Greg, for adding value to the discussion. Uh, my next question is all about it's about what does it take to create a sellable online, because now you're in the phase like you are creating a compelling
Mhm.
course, but you might need further some tips to create multiple avenues of revenue streams, right? And then how can you make your first course, which I feel the only resistance is like, once you are live, once you created your first course, it can actually act as a lead magnet for you. Like, I remember this word used by you in our last conversations, and I would like to highlight that, Greg, when you said it is actually a lead magnet. And marketing, we really use this word very differently. But when we are talking about this, industry right now, I think the first course, even for 1 hour, when you are able to create, getting your target audience to seek feedback, offering them a free course and learn that how can I actually optimize it and take it to the next level and pitch it at different levels of that. And at the same time, you are increasing the price for basic, and because you're catering to an expert audience who would be paying for if you like the basic course. People like the course, people like the instructors, and these are two rating parameters also we have put in tutorial, where you can rate your course and instructor both, right? So you have your expertise lies with how you are actually delivering it. And I would suggest you should always, whenever you're creating a course, you should always have few live sessions so that people know who is there behind this course. Okay. Because that's very, very important. That human touch in terms of seeing that who is there. who has created it, and what is his qualifications, what is his rule, and what is his expertise. You need to sell that off too to the audience, right? Because people buy that factor. That's there. So let's talk about now, how to create a sellable online course, right? This is nothing new in the answer, but I'll tell you. First is the topic as we discussed. How do you identify a subject for which you want to create a course on, right? You need to experiment with it, do need identifications through several methods, or you can create a test course, throw it out for feedback, you know, uh, catch a learner who might, be interested in this course, take their feedback and make it a solid, rock solid course, right? So that's the topic, which I've already spoken about, how you can identify a need. And the second thing comes is the learner engagement. One important point apart from creating engagement through a blended approach when you're creating a course is the quality of content, right? Which actually decides or maybe determine whether a learner can go out and share their learning experience with their friends and the network. So rehashing, this is called rehashing. Rehashing happens when I'm happy with what I just gone through and I go out and tell 10 people, right? That's how it works, the science, right? So I go out and tell 10 people that this was really good, you should go about it. So creating a qualitative course really takes you long way. You never know somebody calling you and want to, take the course that somebody's already taken, right? You can also use your own referral methods in terms of suggesting someone who might take this course to your audience. So other tips, which I'll share some tips on marketing later, at the end of this question. So those are the other things. So alternatively, what happens is if you are an SME subject matter expert for the subject, you can innovatively respond. This is very important point. So you can innovatively respond and repurpose the lessons again. If because you when you know that there is a demand for that, right? Innovatively. So once you put a course already running, okay, you should look at things which you can change over a period of time, repurpose the same content different ways, because one learning objective can be processed in multiple ways. Sometimes you do activities which is live, sometimes you talk about a question or a problem, sometimes you share anecdotes, sometimes you talk about stories. So there's several ways to actually deliver one learning objective, right? Depending, you are the expert, you would know that what has a higher reflection on the mind of the learner, right? Maybe storytelling. You know the best based on the subject that you dealt with, right? So so apart from that, the engagement which I already said covers the live classrooms, okay, documents, PPTs, projects, certifications, give them homework, engage them completely so that they feel that wow, this is really helping me to learn to the level that I can test my learning as well, to the level that I can implement the learning as well. And you keep taking feedback to the people who have taken the course. Ask them if there's something you suggest to make it a better course. Always have a feedback. So you can use the assessment facility of uh, tutorial, which is independent. You can ask them to rate the course, write their feedback, because they are also learning about the subject. The generation is really quite smart you're dealing with, right? People people have a different uh, cognitive skills, and they can suggest you from a different orientation of thought as well. So we have to very much open, even as a coaching fraternity or people those who are teaching others, right? So that's very important aspect. Now, second is a good platform. You know, uh, it is a contribution of platform is huge when you are actually creating a good course and want your audience to come on the platform, right? There should be a couple of things which you should keep in mind is like, first is for you to ease of creating a course. If you find it too complex, that starts that what I could, you'll feel low on that because you're not able to manage it or you're not able to create a course on that. So that motivation starts impacting on the first level. The first level is that you should be very much comfortable in terms of creating an online course. And for that, uh, I have received huge, so many feedback from our participants, including you, Greg. Said this is simple. And that's the win. That's the success criteria for the platform that we build. So one is that, and second is work on the cementation of learning. As I said, use multiple type, questions, several quiz types, assessments to keep them engaged. Give them 2 attempts, 3 attempts for the test so that they would feel that okay, they are learning. Okay, these all facilities are there in tutorial when you create an assessment, right? And you can also assess the learner, like when you talk about Donald Kirkpatrick model, where you assess the learner, initially at what level they are. Okay, and then you actually build that course or add value to the course more in terms of what is the gap and how can you actually make that course more solid, right? So these are the things you can do. You take a pre-test and understand that what they already know, what they don't know. It also helps you to make your course more solid, right? And then also platform should not let anybody should not be able to download your content from the platform, right? Because content is your asset. So in tutorial, what happens is you let them only download what you are giving them access to. Right. I got lot of customers who talking to me that who were sharing with me that the other platforms they are actually some students are able to download the content. So that's actually the that should not happen. Somebody should be able to download something only when you authorize them. Otherwise not, right? Because your content, that's your copyright. That's your asset that you're building. Right? Platform should have query resolution process, which is very, very important for students. You have one-on-one discussions, you have forums, you can chat with the instructor to solve a problem, all these things. And nowadays, other points are very important in terms of like there are platforms where when you sell a course, they take a part of your transaction also, right? Uh, So Tutorial doesn't do that. It's your platform. You only pay the subscription fees, and there would not be any share in your transactions. So you own your own platform. You own the way you want on. So these are all you need to check that before selecting a platform whether these are there or not, right? So platform should help you also creating your custom website, your making changes so that you can have your own web pages, to a certain extent. Okay, if that allows you, and they, there should be proper process of managing students, managing instructors, and also like we have actually identified this problem in the market. The language is use an issue, right? All the platform doesn't give you flexibility to use it in the your own language, native language. So for tutorial, if you request, it is multilingual in nature. If you want your platform in French, it could be available for you, you know so that's what tutorial helps you with understanding your needs. There is a bigger market in your own regional language, your own local language, than English. Okay, if you really look at the target audience, if you are from that region. So this is the support we are giving so that you can cater to that audience, right? And last but not least, uh, for the platform, you should actually have a customer support. It should not happen that you're sending a mail and you don't get any reward, or you have to follow up again to send another mail. So there's a huge issue in currently in the edtech industry, where reaching out, getting a support, within a like if I tell you that if you call tutorial, write a tutorial, will revert to you within 24 hours or 48 hours, whatever it is, whatever is the commitment, you should get that, right? Support is very, very important in that case. Now the next point is know your target group and how to market it. Now, target group, I already spoke about it in terms of your audience and the level of audience, like at what level they are in the industry, like it's experience or intermediate or or a basic level. So that you need to know, and then you have to study their roles, their life cycle. If you have a proper target audience, create a persona who you want to target, right? It's very important. And accordingly, you can also make a course teaser, we discussed about creating a very small module as an introductory module, and then you are creating a teaser for that, and how people are reacting to that, right? You put it on YouTube, you put it on tutorials, course page, and see if the teasers, But it is very important that teasers are developed with the right design and content, which is actually talking about the essence of the skill that you want to impart through this course, right? So you can actually create a course teaser, which is very important, because what happens is, suppose even if you drive a traffic from paid campaigns to a landing page of your course, what they do, they first see the course curriculum learning objective. They first see the teasers. Okay. They decide based on how you have defined the course short descriptions, log descriptions, learning objectives, course criteria, which you'll find everything in detail on tutorial, because we designed this thing considering that how you would have been designing a program when you do in a physical classroom setup. And that's how each element, the science of learning, is being captured when you talk about tutorial. And these whole things are actually appearing on the landing page when you talk about creating a course. So it is very important. Next point about marketing is, like, you can do email marketing, right? You on tutorial, when customers are signing in, they are, if you're doing a webinar, you can bringing, if you can even launch a free course to get more database, like a lead magnet. I said, there are several ways you can look at lead magnet. So the data flows to your email marketing tools that you're using, or you can download it also and upload it on your tools, and you can actually reach out to them through that and gauge their interest. And of course, I'm sure that you'll get leads out of that, right? Because people who are coming in a platform for a particular, even a test sessions, it means they have an orientation toward their subject, so it matters a lot. So you're already shortlisting a lot of crowd in terms of target group, which is which like who likes the course, or maybe who want it, if not now, maybe in near future. That's why they're giving you time. 1 hour is huge time, right? It's like, you can also do WhatsApp marketing, for, you already have lots of connects. You can send these details to them, gather is, and share your perspective with the, through several posts you can do, right? You can use LinkedIn to write a post, share it on WhatsApp to your group. Social media also you can share through normal organic post on a daily basis, or maybe twice or thrice a week on that, about that, and you can actually bring people to your platform to look at, to access those courses, right? And I said you can always run Google ads and Facebook ads to bring traffic to your landing page of that course, right? And then one important aspect is content marketings, like what you write about your course. How are you actually attracting the user, the learner, to create more interest, you know, uh, when you're talking about that course, so people write to you, like, want to know more about the course and all. So and you also get to know what is your target audience. So that is also important, very important. Letting your network on LinkedIn or social media know that what you do, what kind of course you're running. Use visuals to attract people. you know these are the signs that people are liking it. You can reach out to them later and talk about it, or you can even market them if you have the connects, or you can reach out to them personally on chats also on LinkedIn, right? And now, as I already spoken about the importance of landing page for each course, which tutorial helps you, have one, multiple ones, where you can bring traffic, people can go through the course, and but make sure that you mention course categories, descriptions, features, and who is it for, right? It's very important. You write the target audience name, and why does one need a course like this? You describe that also, and you'll get all these descriptions to write on the course manager of tutorial writing. What will be the takeaway? Okay. And you can also, if it is an old course running, share video reviews of the students. It's very, very important. People who have taken a course from you, you request a video testimonials, and so that they will talk about it, what they have learned, and how it was, a good course or best of the course they have taken. So it's very, very important, let people know, right? And if your audience is an enterprise or something, you can write case studies about your client in your own words, you know without mentioning the name of the, if the client allows you, that's fine. If you can tag them on the social media, or else you can write a generic case studies, or okay, this client has these challenges, I created a coaching program, it was splendid. And that's how, what were the challenges, 3 steps. You can write a case study, like what was the challenge, what was your approach, and what was the results. Simple. We don't have to write too much content. People don't have time, to put it on the social media. you know 100 words are enough in terms of describing something. Or you can use carousels to show that. So these were like, you'll have if you follow these techniques, and this is more easier now in this world of digital transformation, digital marketing. So rest assured that these tips will help you get some results. And you will be starting your pipeline. You will be start building your pipeline, sales pipeline. Okay. And of course, the first step is towards creating a funnel. Then you start the conversion process. If you want to test that, just to, even if you don't want to create a course, suppose you don't want to invest into that, go for a live session, do a free live session, let people come, ask them feedback, this is what I'm planning. But before that, just prepare on the learning objectives, prepare what will be the takeaway, this is what I'm planning to develop, right? Go out to people, you can ask feedback directly. So what should be the method they are looking for? Are they looking for some activities which I can do on live, right? Are they looking for some videos to be created, or animation to be created? Are they looking for some e-learning courses in the form of SCOM packages, right? Depending on the target audience, it really matters how they are. They looking for just reading some anecdotes or case studies? So I'll put it there in the form of PDF. By the way, I forgot to mention that on Tutorial, the downloadable material could be of any file types, not only PDF. Okay. You can let a video to be downloaded, you can let a Word doc, PowerPoint, PDF, anything to be downloaded for that. Because we also need to take care of the learning style of learners, right? It really matters. They are kinesthetic, or they are, what do you call the auditory, and then you have visuals and all, right? So you can use that. You can put an image also in terms of infographics for people to understand that. You can also trigger their thoughts, whatever. So these are actually uh, the best ways what I see to cater to your audience, right? And plan your marketing, like how we're going to out uh, based on uh, based on the target audience, right? So I would say, if you first step towards getting into this is take your first step, create a basic course, or you go live, use a platform. I'm not saying only tutorial, but use a platform which fits these things in, because you need that over a period of time. I've seen people subscribing for platform, later repeating that, okay, I don't get this in this, I don't find it in this, right? So we are also an startup, we are building this, but the crux of the 3 whys that I've told you, right, I've shared with you right now, this is how we'll be progressing forward in terms of our product roadmap that we have, right? So, and we have put in, the difference you will find is the science that we talk about, the science that you're putting into the system, putting into the platform, right? And that's how the whole tutorial is being conceptualized. So, if you have any questions, please ask. You know, anything that you can ask related to creating a course, selling a course.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say. If we got any questions, I think we've covered so much today,
Right.
and I think that, well, one of the things I have to know, and I have to say, is that when we're creating courses, there's a lot of people that will tell you how to create a
Yeah.
course, and it has to be their way. But with tutorial and everything that you've covered today, Saurabh, that it is very market driven. Who are your learners? Where are they? How do they access it? And the fact that tutorial offer that flexibility to make sure that you hit your target group, your target audience, and where they are, how they learn. And I think this is very critical, because you can buy courses on how to create and sell courses, and and they give you a format and they give you um, a template, and you follow that, and you'll be successful. And even, you know, as a course creator, I'm interested in how other people are doing it, and that's where I learn. And there's so much advice saying take your knowledge and create a course, and that's it. And they convince you you'll be successful as long as you use their template. But
Right,
you know, the
right,
truth is that, yeah, what you've covered today, that it has to be, it's not just knowledge, but it has to be sellable. It has to be, the market has to be there, and it is very important. And yeah, using a platform like Tutorial for um, lead magnet, start your sales funnel, and again, lead magnets are really anything. Lead magnets really are there to showcase what you can do.
right,
And having an online course is a great way, because people aren't just reading a PDF file about you. They're actually getting to interact with you. They're actually getting to learn who you are as an instructor. And I'm not just talking about coaches. I'm talking about, you know, educational purposes and things. But they get a chance to find out who you are and your style of teaching and the value that you can bring. And that's yeah, it's a great way for it to be sellable. It has to be marketable. The market has to be there as well.
right, right. Absolutely.
But with the
Uh,
flexibility of this means that you can go and test your market. You can go and test how they want to learn. You could have the best subject in the world, but if it's not presented in the right way, it
right,
won't
right.
sell. So
I think
you know, we're teachable that we can have that course and market it in different ways.
exactly, exactly. I agree with
So
you, Greg. I think Mary has a question here. Okay, regarding the just the speed of the video. So as of now, we don't have that facility. What happens is in tutorial, you can only create a course by uploading a content that you already have. So you're not going to create content inside the tutorial, right? So whatever you create in terms of your own pace or based on the target audience, that would be uploaded there.
and it's quite simple to create a video on um, ones I actually do. I use Zoom and have a meeting by myself and record it from there, and then use a very simple editing tool
Yes, you
um,
can do that. You can edit a
to
video on Canva also, quite easy to use, famous. And of course, you have a team, you can get it done through them also. Try to put the text along with the video as well to cater to people, those who can see might not hear, right? All the specially able people to, so that it adds more audience to your content. That's one of the best way to adding text to the video that you create, right? And also do it in a very very nugget way, not more than 10 minutes. People really get bored and then they will start skipping the lessons, right? Move forward because that happens. But of course in tutorial you can take out a report, what percentage we are working on showing you what percentage you can see a learner has taken the video and whether he has taken or not taken. So those aspects we are working on to make it more viable for students and teacher fraternity as well. That's what we're doing.
excellent.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Mary, we can arrange a demonstrations for you. All right. And please drop your email address and I'll ask my colleague to get in touch with you and schedule a demo with you. We can do that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for everything you've given us today.
Yes. So also
It's been
also
fascinating. I've learned a lot. I've written a page of notes myself,
oh
and there's some great reminders in there. Um,
okay.
you know, how to structure a course, how to break it down into those small segments. We have to remember that a course is, yes, it's in the macro, but we also need to take it to the micro level as well.
Right, right.
and drop those wonderful bombs in there that are people really going to go, okay, yeah, okay, I've got that. And the way that we have to remember that we're the instructor as well. We're not just giving the information, we're helping people. So thank you for that, and it's been a wonderful experience. And I believe that you've got us a wonderful offer for people that have made it this
Yes,
far.
yes. People, with us today, and for whoever wants for this month. So you can make tutorial at your Valentine, only for this month, right? Because we thought of actually creating a love for tutorial. Sense. All right. So to Mary, we will arrange a demo for you soon. All right. Please do drop your email address, and we will get in touch with you. And I really want to thank you, Greg, for uh, being with us, and taking your time out, talking about this product, and the conceptualization of the same. And we look forward to doing much more than this, and be as our partner always.
Thank you so much, Saurabh, and thank you, Ashke, for the slides as well.
Yes. So this is the tutorial. Think e-learning, think tutorial. There are many more features we are going to bring in. Let me tell you, in next 5 years we have roadmap for every month to bring something to you, and trying to put in the essence of science of learning in every features that we'll be developing in future. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.